Yes, people, what's going on? See, got talks about. We're back again with another video. Today we got Dan Lawless in the building. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, go check out Dan Lawless. If I'm not mistaken, it's Lawless It's Lawless Live, Lawless TV. You keep changing.
Lawless Live. Yep, no TV, just live. I'm hardly ever live. Most of my videos are pre-record, but I do watch along. So
there you go. You got Lawless Live in the building. West Ham fan, in case you didn't know. But yeah, we're gonna get into everything today. Do me a favor, guys, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you haven't already checked it out, I did a Champions League draw reaction video, so you guys can go check that out. I've done a bunch of stuff already this week, so make sure you guys go support the channel, hit that like button. And also, we did not get the point, we did not get the loss. If Liverpool lose, I said I'm gonna give out a £50 Amazon gift card. So the day Liverpool lose, I'm going to give out a £50 Amazon gift card. I'm waiting for them to lose. If they lose this weekend, this still applies. All you have to do is comment down below the score between the Man City and Liverpool game. And don't forget, if they lose, you'll get it. So obviously don't predict the Liverpool win in the chat. Don't do that. Also, while you're at it, predict the Liverpool Arsenal West Ham game in the chat. Also, the person who predicts both scores correctly will win the £50 Amazon gift card, but you have to be subscribed. So if I see you've won and you got it correct, but you didn't subscribe, I'm gonna give it to the next closest person. But yeah, you got to be subscribed. You got to leave a comment. Both scores, get it correct, and Liverpool have to lose. I'm throwing that £50 around. I'm just waiting for when Liverpool finally lose. And you know what? If we go above them in the table, I'll raise it to 100. If we win the league, I'm giving out a £500 gift card. I don't give a shit. Anyways, let's do it. But yo, Lawless, what you saying?
Yeah, man, I'm good, man. Like, this game's come around thick and fast, and yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to it, man. You know
what? First things first. You're in London. You used to live next to Upton Park or something. What made you become a West Ham fan? I forgot. I've asked you this before, but I forget.
Yeah. No, like, my whole family is West Ham fans. I lived like walking distance. I wouldn't say around the corner, but walking distance to the game. Like, you could hear the crowd from where I lived. So yeah, it's the area. It's in the blood. Family generations of West Ham fans in the family. So yeah, man, it's like just as simple as that, really.
And you know what? If you let me ask you, what is in the title of your video that you put out? Because I didn't catch it. Is it "We're gonna end their title hopes"? What are you thinking right now?
Yeah, well, I would. Yeah, I'm now. Yeah, looking at it, like, it's putting the final nail in the coffin of Arsenal's title hopes. I just said that on Straight Facts. That's what I would love to do, because I think if you lose to us, I don't know for you, Igal. I can't speak for you, but a lot of Arsenal fans, that would kill any hope. I think for a lot of Arsenal fans, it's a tough ask anyway with your injuries for a start. But mate, like you guys are gonna have to be on point. You're gonna have to be near perfect, I would say, in this running. So the falling at this hurdle, that would be devastating, I think. At home
so
too.
You're basically saying, you would love to end Arsenal's title hopes. That's what you're saying.
Yes, I would love it.
Okay, I seen you doing your Kevin Keegan impression too earlier on the terrace. Do you really believe that Arsenal are so weak that you guys are looking at them right now as like, this is an opportunity for us to get 3 points at the Emirates? Because you know, we haven't lost at the Emirates since we lost to Aston Villa the back end of last season.
Yeah, I'm not looking at it as I've said, and you know, if you've seen the prediction I gave you, we'll get to it. But I said that I'm optimistic we can get something, right? Something. So I feel like this is a good opportunity to at least get a draw against Arsenal, just because, and it's not that you're bad or anything, but with the depleted forward line, when you had a lot of your players, nearly a full strength squad, you were struggling to break teams down. Then, you know, we can go back to December times and November. There were games where you were struggling to break teams down. So now, if you're gonna have teams that are gonna be more compact, more resolute at the back, it's going to be a bit harder. So it's not on you having any frailties at the back or anything like that. It just comes to banging in goals, you know. and that's what it comes down to, you know.
So what's your goal scoring been like this season? It's been very poor. Am I mistaken?
Yeah, I mean it's been hit and miss. It's not like we've gone a lot of games without scoring. You know, we usually get at least one goal in certain games. We didn't score any against Brentford, although we created a lot and we made a meal of it, but we could not get that goal over the line. So yeah, I wouldn't say it's terrible, but it's definitely not good. It's not good enough. That's what I would say. It's not good enough, the goal scoring. So but we have players in there that can do something and nothing, namely Jarrod Bowen. Do you know what I mean? If anyone's going to do something, his finishing, his ability to create and find that space and slot it in, he's a threat. So when you've got someone like that, there's always a chance, you know.
Jarrod Bowen is like your version of Mo Salah or Bukayo Saka or Cole Palmer. He's your talisman. He's your guy who, when you need something, he's going to get something out of nowhere. Obviously, if he was Phil Foden, you'd be crying. But we're not talking about Foden right now. If you want to talk about that, we can talk about it another time. But right now, Bowen, is he playing as your striker? Is he an auxiliary striker? What is his role this season for you? Because it seems like everything that's happening at your club used to go through 2 or 3 players, but now it just seems like it goes through one.
It's been a lot of switching around because of the injuries that we've had. Fulkrug has barely been able to play because of his injuries. Antonio had that horrific car crash because before that he was mostly like he could have lost his life. There's a chance he might play by the end of the season, which is crazy. What? Yeah, like
no way.
Serious, yeah. There's a chance.
Bro, there's a guy named Takahiro Tomiyasu who's played 1 game this whole season. You're telling me Antonio got into a life-threatening car accident? He's going to be back playing before Tomiyasu.
Send him to. Honestly, there's something in the because Fulkrug had a hamstring tear, a hamstring tear, kind of like Saka, and we was like, damn, we might not see him till near the end of the season, if at all. He's gone to Dubai for this warm weather training, which is what Antonio does. And now he's going to be back like in 4 weeks. Like
we just came back from Dubai ahead after the Leicester game.
Yeah, and then a player got injured in Dubai for you guys, which is mad. Havertz got injured over there,
bro. I don't know what Havertz got injured because he was defending a set piece, and we practice as hard as we play. And sometimes our players get injured in practice. It's the second time a player's gotten injured this season in practice. The first one was Mikel Merino. He wasn't used to Gabriel's physicality. he got introduced to Gabriel quite quickly.
We just had Paqueta get injured in training from a tackle from
That's a big miss, you know. Damn.
Yeah, it is.
You know what? You guys always talk about Arsenal's injuries. Everyone's talking about Arsenal's injuries. Paqueta getting injured just before this game helps us out massively. Because now we don't have to focus as much on your midfield. Your midfield with Paqueta in is a completely different animal, bro.
Yeah, he's been playing a few games up top even. He's been playing as a striker for us, or up front, false nine, whatever you want to call it, just out of necessity. But it's one of them. What's that?
Did he play the last game?
Yeah, he did. He played up top last game because Ferguson was on the bench. So he played up front. He started up front, and like it's not obviously his best position, but he's benefited the most from Graham Potter coming in, like because he's not had a great season, Paqueta, but Potter really lifted him and just had him playing at his best. And yeah, so it's definitely a big loss to lose Paqueta, man. Like
you've had Pellegrini, you've had David Moyes, you've had Lopetegui, Graham Potter. Any better?
Yeah, listen, looking at some of them early signs, because listen, that's what you've got to hold on to. You've got to try and see the signs. I didn't see anything with Lopetegui 6 months in to say, oh, okay, like I can see what he's trying to do here. I can see this improvement. Like when Potter came in, like from game 1, which he only had like a day with the players, already I'm seeing us like pressing high up the pitch. I'm seeing us trying to move the ball quicker. Like I'm just seeing an improvement in general play. And it's a big, hard job he's got on his hands because we were so bad under Lopetegui. A lot of the players have come out and said how clear his instructions are and what he's asking them to do, which is huge. Like if you can get your ideas across, then that's half the battle. So yeah, man, and it's about the long-term project. I'm looking. We need someone to change how we do things at the club, how we play, how we bring through young players, which Lopetegui didn't want to do, Moyes didn't really do, and now he's already started to give young players a chance. We've seen Ollie Scholes at left back, who's looks really good. So yeah, man, I've got optimism, and hopefully the recruitment strategy can change as well going forward, and he can do what he started at Brighton, which was carried on, is finding them gems with the data analysis and all of that stuff, man. So yeah, I think he can be good.
You know what? You know who the next person I'm going to speak about is? The guy Arsenal fans have been crying for a while, but it's kind of gone away now. I don't hear too many Arsenal fans going crazy, goo goo gaga over your boy Kudus. Has Kudus not been having a good season this season? What's going on with Kudus?
Nah, it's not been a good season for Kudus this season, and yeah, it hurts to say that. You know, I love Kudus. It's a tough one. I look at it and I think part of the reason is it feels like he's been found out a little bit. Part of the reason is teams know he's a threat. They send 2-3 players around him, and it's just one of them things. And because we haven't had, we missed Bowen for quite a long period of time. Paqueta wasn't very good, so it's not like he was creating all this space by having taken 2-3 players, and then the other players were stepping up and creating that space. He was just and a lot of the time he was just isolated. Like there's no one there. Even actually against Brentford, I'm seeing him with all these players around him by himself, no players near him. I'm screaming, someone go help him, give him an option to pass off the ball to. So some of it I think is a bit of him. A lot of the time, sometimes decision making has been poor. Instances where it's like you should have passed and you've gone for goal from a very difficult position where someone's in a. I don't think it's a case of his head's being turned more than.
Or does he have issues going on in his life right now?
Yeah, I think it's a case of just the way it's been inside the team. Like the transition has been horrible, right? So we went from Moyes. Lopetegui was just a bit of a disaster, right? And we talked about clear communication from Potter. You weren't really getting that at all with Lopetegui. A lot of confusion. We're hearing a lot of rumors of issues behind the scenes between Kudus and Lopetegui. A big bust up where he subbed him off early in one of the games, and it don't seem to be like he really meshed with Lopetegui. And the problem started. We see the Spurs game where he was hitting the Spurs player in the face, got sent off. So it seems to be like just his head has not been fully focused. So now. I'm asking
you about, didn't he get arrested?
I didn't hear that.
Where have you been? Apparently a day ago he got arrested.
I'll be honest, that's not if that's true, that's not really been doing the rounds like that on West Ham Twitter. Like I'm not hearing no one talk about that. I haven't been on Twitter like as hardcore.
I seen this right here. It said Kudus got arrested and dragged into court over a license situation. So I don't know.
License to what was it? Driving license.
I don't even know, mate. I need to go check this out before.
Yeah, like that's headline. I don't know why no one's really talking about it. So unless it's a minor thing, like, usually I get it from Twitter. Like Twitter is where I see a lot of the stuff.
Yeah, it had something to do with being on his phone while he was driving.
While driving. Yeah, so hopefully that don't affect him from Friday. But a lot of times, Arsenal fans just wanted him because he's a saucy player. He's got a cool celebration.
Yeah, he didn't get arrested. You guys are over exaggerating. He just got a ticket, probably.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's probably why it's been downplayed. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, with the Arsenal thing, I just didn't see it. I didn't see the point of signing Kudus for Arsenal because he's a right winger. He can play in the 10 at the left, which is another thing. Lopetegui played him a lot on the left wing where he's just not good there. He is not good on the left. So Arsenal fans talking about signing him and put him on the left, it's a bit nonsensical. Like to play his release clause is 85 million. I just don't see the point.
I don't think anyone's paying that now.
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
You know what it is? When the player's in form, 85 million seems like, you know what, that's affordable. That's decent. Yeah. But I think you guys should have cashed in the summer because West Ham, in order for you guys to continue to progress, call me crazy, but you need to try to hold on to you need to try to hold on to the Jarrod Bowens, and you need to cash in on the Paquetas and the Kudusus when they're doing well, because then you can add players. Start becoming like Brighton, because no disrespect to West Ham, but I don't think you guys have the financial clout to go and pull £50 signings in every position that you need. So you need to flip some of these guys who are playing well. Now, don't flip.
And I wouldn't be against it. Like, I wouldn't be against that Paqueta, because with Paqueta and Kudus, I haven't seen the level of consistency I need to say, like, yeah, you guys are players that we rely on. Like Bowen, we rely on because he's consistent like that. Whereas Kudus and Paqueta, over time, have not been consistent enough to be able to rely on. So I would cash in. I don't think we had a bid.
You did have a bid. Man City came in with a reasonable bid. You guys rejected it. They did some research. No, for Paqueta. They did some research.
Paqueta. Yeah.
They did some research, and then they found out my man could get banned, and then they pulled out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We didn't turn it down. Like it was because of the court case. I'm saying, like, Kudus in the summer, we couldn't really cash. We didn't have a bid. We didn't have like.
Didn't you guys reject 88 million for Paqueta?
No, I'm not. I'm talking about, you said Kudus. We should have cashed in on Kudus. I'm saying in the summer, last summer, we didn't have a serious bid. Paqueta was, I think he would have gone over a year ago. I don't think we had a bid this summer. We had a bid from flipping Flamenco for like 10 million or something ridiculous, because they're like trying to get him on the cheap because he might get banned. So let us loan him and then give you like a few mil. Like it was, yeah.
So yeah, it was 85 million pounds. Man City and you agreed on Paqueta, I think, and then the whole ban thing basically ruined the deal.
Yeah, that was last season. You
turned down the original 70 million pound bid.
Yeah, that was last season. Yeah, so it's one of them ones. So listen, this summer, I don't think, unless Liverpool would make sense if Salah doesn't stay. Even if he does, Salah's getting to that point where he's coming to the end, where you've got Saka. I just don't see it make sense for Arsenal, even if he was in form, for you to spend 85 mil. And don't forget, when you activate a release clause, you have to pay it all up front. Yeah. Arsenal like to do things. Everyone does things.
Who makes more sense to Arsenal? Nico Williams for 55 million pound release clause, or Kudus for almost double?
Yeah, Williams, because isn't he a left winger, right?
Younger too. He's younger left winger. Yeah.
100%. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Even if you could look and say, oh, they're both like the same age, they're both the same quality, positionally, Williams makes more sense.
Yeah, we need marquee signings. I don't think Kudus would be a marquee signing for us right now.
Yeah. I get it. Like he's a vibe. He's fun. He's a cool player. Okay, like that's why they want him. Like it's a cool little shirt seller because look at him, and he's gonna do the stool celebration where he sits down. Oh, that's cold. Like that's why a lot of Arsenal fans.
You don't rate him anymore?
No, I rate him, but what I'm saying is the reason why Arsenal fans want him isn't for footballing reasons.
No, it is. His versatility is key.
Listen, I don't think he's as versatile. Where if you talk about versatility and like how he can play anywhere, the downgrade that we saw from him when he played on the left isn't. I wouldn't put him as that versatile. And even up front, I think we played him up top for like a couple games. It didn't really work out.
We would play him as a backup for Odegaard, Saka, and potentially in the midfield.
Yeah, which is kind of pointless to me if you sign him as a. I mean, it's a really good backup, right? But you're going to pay 85 million for a player like Kudus to sit on the bench for Saka, where you could pay that 85 million and spend that money elsewhere to upgrade positions.
Yeah, not striker.
Yeah, I'll get that striker over the line, upgrade. Of course, you want good depth. You need good depth, but I don't think you should be spending that level of money for squad depth to get someone that's going to be on the bench. Like that's where you find those gems that can come in that maybe haven't been doing so good. Like say Trossard. Trossard is a good example.
We've been talking a lot about West Ham. Let's flip it over to Arsenal. But people in the chat, do me a favor, hit that like button right now. And remember, if Liverpool lose, I'll be handing out a £50 gift card for Amazon to anybody who gets the correct score for the Arsenal West Ham game and the Liverpool Man City game. So make sure you guys do that after the video is done. But before we go any further, I'm just going to say this. Arsenal. Let's talk about Arsenal. We got an injury situation. We got a title race on our hands. And I think you yourself thought we were out of it a couple times. You're kind of impressed we're still even in it with all the injuries and everything we were going on. I want to know, what's your stance on Arteta? Because I'm clearly one of the biggest Arteta stands, or somebody who backs the manager through all this hatred that he gets. And I think that the manager deserves a lot of credit for having a team with no Bukayo Saka, no Jesus, no Martinelli, no Kai Havertz, all these players injured. We've had Trossard, only Trossard and Raya have been our only fit players for the whole season, in comparison to Liverpool, who've had 7 out of their 11 starters fit for every single game this season. Mikel Arteta has had to weather a ridiculous storm, and he has done that to a degree better than Manchester City. Because think about it, besides Rodri, Man City have not had like too many season-ending injuries, but they've fallen off and everyone's given them a pass. But Arsenal are still going away, chucking away at it, and the only team that shows any fight versus Liverpool.
Are people giving Man City a pass? Because I don't think, I think that's an Arsenal lens that you're looking at that with, of, oh, like everyone's against us and not against. I don't think Man City are getting a pass. Like I think they're getting
because they've won the league 4 years in a row.
Like you look at it, and I saw there was a tweet you done the other week, right? That I see, and I was gonna reply to it, but sometimes Twitter's not the best like platform to have these debates. But you was like, Liverpool have been really lucky with injuries, and we haven't.
Yeah.
And I look at that, and the thing is, I wanted to bring up was you could say the same thing about Arsenal the previous 2 seasons. Arsenal were very lucky about injuries. Now, how Arsenal fans put it was, we've just got this really good medical guy that we got from Man United, and that's why we ain't got any injuries. This guy's so good, and it's not that we're lucky. We hired this guy well, but now Liverpool have missed players, by the way. They missed Alisson, McAllister, Jota, so they're lucky with injuries. They've had more injuries.
McAllister has not missed one game, brother.
He was injured. He did. What do you mean he hasn't missed one game?
McAllister has not missed a single game this season in the Premier League.
Listen, I don't know about that, because I think around November time he was injured, so I'd have to check that. But what I'm saying is, and I haven't got the full list because they have had those injuries. What I'm saying is, I'm not denying this season have been better, but I'll just say this, Agal. This season, Liverpool have had more injuries than Arsenal did in their top run last few seasons.
That's not true. First things first. Alexis McAllister played 25 games. Is that? I'm not faking it here, right? Let's go through their squad. Van Dijk played 26 games. Okay, every single game. Mm-hmm. Robertson, how many games did he play? 25. Started 23. Let's go to the next one. Ryan Gravenberch, how many games did he play? 26 out of 26. McAllister, how many games did he play? 23 out of 25. Let's go to attack. Mo Salah, 26 out of 26, right? We've already spoken about Jota. We know about Chiesa. Darwin Núñez. We're going to talk about that. But I'm just showing you how many of their guys have played almost every game. Look at that, 25 games. You go to Cody Gakpo, 24 games. My point is, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players out of their starting 11 who've played the majority of the season.
Yeah, but okay. So looking at this, right, and I'm not arguing that Liverpool this season have been better. Have had more injuries than Arsenal, because they haven't, right? I'm not saying that, but to say that they've been lucky, we need to look at also squad management, right? We need to look at Arteta, because I've been saying this for years. Hold on, I'm going to listen. And I've been saying this, and I think you may have even heard me say it, and I think I probably actually said it on your channel, like in seasons past, about the management of Bukayo Saka from Arteta, how he overplays him, never gets rotated, doesn't get subbed off, You know, you're comfortably winning. There's never a point like, okay, we'll bring Saka and bring someone else. Like the level he's played for Arsenal and England is crazy. I remember seeing, I think it was Villa away. I remember it might have been last season. It was only last season before. And Arteta was getting, Saka, sorry, was getting kicked all over the pitch. And he started limping after a bad tackle. And he stayed on and played a good portion of that game. So it almost felt like inevitable for me, like this Saka injury. It felt in the hamstring. We can talk about, like, say, Rice's injury. That was a broken toe or whatever. Freak injury.
Can I stop you there? Here's where your argument falls apart.
Mm-hmm.
This is Mo Salah's minutes. This is Mo Salah's minutes for the last couple of months. He played every single game, comes off maybe the last 8 minutes, right? In 2 games out of the 10 on this list. You go to the previous ones. You see there, majority of these are 90-minute performances, and if he comes off for 6 minutes. 6 minutes at best, right? Now let's go to Saka. Let's go to Saka. Same thing with Van Dijk also. So as much as we're talking about it, top players, they play. And you want to know something? Bukayo Saka actually gets subbed off earlier because we've had some big wins. Yeah, we beat you.
You're talking about this season. I'm talking about like literally the part, like in the entire time that Arteta has been at Arsenal.
But Arne Slot's only been here for 1 year, and he's played his players a lot. Let's not act like he rotates. He doesn't.
No, but what I'm talking about is with Saka. So what I've always said about Saka. So the entire time, so over the years, okay, I get it. Like we've had players that you've relied on in a season. Like, okay, he's going for a title right now.
Best player play every game.
But what I'm saying is, from he's a young player, Saka. He's young. People forget how young he is. So the entire time he's been there. When was his debut? Was he 19, 18? When he started getting regular minutes in the team?
Yeah, but he got eased in. It was 18, but he got eased into the team.
But I'm saying the point where he became a regular, he was probably 19, right? When 18, when he became a starter, like week in, week out. So that period, the amount of football that he has played for club and country, it's a lot. And again, not the type of player that he is, where he's getting physical battles that he's having to have against defenders and things like that. I always felt that he has been a little bit overplayed and Arsenal fans feel it the same, because you're sitting there talking about whenever he gets called up for England, he should be able to not go to this international break. He should get this rest. Well, if he needs rest from international breaks, well, then you're saying he's been played too much, right? He needs rest. So there are times where you're playing, because I've seen it, like there's been like League Cup games against lower league opposition where he's played, and you're like, come on, man.
No, but most of the time, either the game is wrapped up and he's just a useless substitute, or he's coming on to finish off the game and make sure we guaranteed win because it's still tight. Either way, I don't think there's anything wrong with a manager using their best player as often as they can. It's just the thing is, Mo Salah and Van Dijk haven't gotten injured this season. Everybody gets injuries if they play a lot of minutes. It's something that can happen, and it's bound to happen. It's just some players get injured less often than others. This is Bukayo Saka's first injury in his career, and everyone is speaking as if you see.
That's not true, is it? Didn't he get injured earlier in the season? Like
no,
short one. He had a short-term injury.
This is his first major injury where he's missed a large portion of time. He's never had an injury where he's missed months in the past. This is the first time where he's actually going surgery, missing games in the middle of the season. The last 2 years, he hasn't missed a game. Or at least if he did, he missed 1 or 2. Like early in the season, he missed 1 game. 1 game he missed. And that is the difference between Liverpool being top and Liverpool not being top. Because I don't think we needed a striker this season, Dan, to be better than Liverpool. I don't think we need a 20-goal season striker this season to be better than Liverpool. I think if Arsenal just had Bukayo Saka, Martin Odegaard, Gabriel, Saliba available for the majority of the season, we would definitely be up there. Because think about it, we're doing this right now, 6 or 7 points behind, with them having a game, with us having a game in hand, by the way, and with no striker, and Mikel Merino as our backup. So yeah, let's get back to this game, but with Mikel Merino at striker versus West Ham, could it work? is there a situation where, because we create, I listen to you on the terrace, we create chances, you know. It's not a thing where we don't create chances. The problem has been our finishing. And Mikel Merino, love him or hate him or think he's not that good of a footballer, whatever you want to say about him, he is a better finisher than 90% of players in this league that play in the midfield. He actually has a better midfield conversion rate than Foden, than Cole Palmer, than Kai Havertz, than even Chris Wood.
Yeah, but this is the thing. Why, if he is this answer and the secret weapon, why is not Arteta not think to play him there earlier before the Havertz injury? That's the thing. No, if it is this stroke of genius, it turns out to be.
No. The main reason is Raheem Sterling is not giving us anything. So the auxiliary emergency backup that they've thought up is Mikel Merino at striker. Now, will Mikel Merino at striker be successful versus West Ham? It comes down to how you guys play. How do you guys defend? Do you guys defend in spaces? Do you follow individuals around? Are you trying to be brute physicality? Because this is a guy, as weak as he looks, he is one of the best aerial duel winners in the world. He actually has a better aerial duel winning percentage than Van Dijk and top center backs, and he's a midfielder. You've seen the goal he scored for Spain in the World Cup. You've seen how many headers he scored for Arsenal already. We now have another element to our attack with him at striker than Raheem Sterling at left wing. Raheem Sterling is non-existent. If Raheem Sterling starts, best believe you have yourself an easy game for as long as he's on the pitch.
Yes. The Sterling thing is a madness. And own up, Big Al. Was you one of the ones that said Arteta can fix him? Arteta can unlock him?
No. I'm an idiot for thinking he would have a better season than Sancho. Forget about fix him. I would rather have Sancho, and Sancho's not even looking that good right now.
Yeah. It's one of them ones, man.
But how many times have you seen this? We were screaming and shouting for Basuma a couple years ago. Basuma's garbage, bro. You told me this. I remember you being on the stream telling me Basuma's the new slice of bread. Caicedo's the new slice of bread. Declan Rice is clear of all of them. And you know this new guy at Brighton? Apparently he's going to cost 100 million also. All you need to do is just sign Brighton players before they go to Brighton.
Yeah, exactly. That's what someone needs. But the funny thing is, Chelsea took their whole recruitment team, and Chelsea is still where the Chelsea are.
No, but the thing is, Chelsea don't have the patience to give these guys the opportunity to develop. Because if Jackson was at Brighton and he was bagging 18 goals, it looks different to Jackson at Chelsea, where he's missing sitters left, right, center. If you miss sitters at Brighton, but you score 18 plus goals, no one cares about those sitters. They look at the 18 goals. But if you miss those same sitters on a team that people are watching with a microscope, like Darwin Núñez, if he was at West Ham, I swear to you, Darwin Núñez would be bagging. He wouldn't be as low in confidence as he is at Liverpool.
We did try to sign him before Liverpool went for him. Funny enough, Moyes tried to sign him.
You guys signed Scamacca also. That guy fell off a cliff. But then immediately when he leaves, he plays well.
Yeah, because the problem is when you're recruiting, we're looking at how many goals they score for other teams, not profile. And this is why I'm more confident that we're trying to go in a better direction with this data analysis, because we're looking at the data of how they fit in terms of profiles. And that's what's key. And the thing with Moreno, for me, it's so early in terms of just him in this role for me to look and say, like, I'm worried, or no, I'm not worried. Like I want to see consistently. I didn't see the Leicester game. I know it took until like the 89th minute or something to get the goal, but I can't see that. Okay, he had up until that minute, his positioning wasn't great, or he wasn't burying chances, or so I can't criticize him or praise him based on that game. Apart from the goals, two very well taking goals, good finishes for them 2 goals. So it's with us. If we play the back five, I'm more optimistic. I looked at us in games we've played it. We're very good at getting our shape back, keeping our shape, and not giving teams too much space at the back, when we're out of possession. So that's going to be interesting to see how we go about it. You talked about aerial threat. This is why Thomas Souček, as much as he's not great on the ball, he's great in both boxes. So he has to start. And if he starts, then we've got that extra advantage in terms of defending set pieces, crosses, things like that. So that's going to be I'm going to be intrigued to see Merino. Like, if he scores in this game, I know Arsenal fans are going to be like, yes, we found it. We didn't need our striker. The Cronkies were cooking and you didn't know it.
Now, you know what? I don't think anyone is going to be saying the Cronkies is cooking. I think Arteta is going to have to get more respect from the masses. That's what I'm saying.
To be fair, Igal, right? I know, like, you've even said earlier in the season, I think I was on a stream with you, and I know you're very, like, pro Arteta, but even you was like, if he don't do it this season and he finishes below Liverpool.
I changed my stance, didn't you hear?
I know you changed your stance, but we lived in a moment where with that Igal, that version of Igal, and I just wanted to bring that up because I think that was a more balanced version of Igal. I know you said, listen, I'll admit, okay, I'm not balanced when it comes to Arsenal, but neither are you. Like, so this is balanced now. Now this is balanced. Me and you on the same show. That's balanced.
Listen, I'll say this, man. I think it's a situation where if Arsenal win the league or don't win the league this season, Arteta has done one of his best jobs as a manager this season. And I think that is very fair. I don't know what you think. If you think I'm crazy for saying that or not, I honestly, at this point, I don't care what anybody says. Because what Arteta has been able to do this season with the amount of adversity we faced, I just got to give it up to him and be like, you know what, fair play. We would be miles ahead of Liverpool right now if we had the same injury record as they did. We would be walking this league if we didn't have the refereeing decisions that dropped us so many points earlier in the season and dropped us down to 10 men for like 45 minutes versus two teams, and we still got something out of those games. We would have won those games if it wasn't for us being down to 10 men. Also, there was another game where we were down to 10 men early also. And you can say it's copium, but bro, I genuinely believe refereeing decisions and injuries has fucked us this season. And in this game, I'm not going to look at injuries or referees. I'm just going to say to myself, we need to show that we have the defensive solidity to keep ourselves solid for that game. And at home, I have the confidence we're going to nick a goal. We don't lose at home, bro. Maybe if we lose this game, it'll be our first loss since the Aston Villa game.
Yep. Well, don't forget, we were the last team to beat you at Emirates, last team at Highbury, first team at Emirates. We're good at them first, you know. First team to beat Spurs at their new stadium. You know, so sometimes these records are there to be broken. I'm not confident. I predicted a 2-1 win, if you was going to ask me, spoiler alert, just because the other person took my prediction. So I went, you know what?
People call me delusional, but when I go out there and say, you know what, if we're facing Real Madrid today, or if we're facing Barcelona today, it would be a different conversation. Yeah. But I don't know why people. What did I say that's delusional?
Don't call him delusional unless you're doing more than him, as Ty would say. Ty's.
Yeah, there you go.
Don't tell me delusional unless you're doing more than me.
Let me guess. Have you done a pregame with what do you call it, guys at AFTV this week?
Yeah, I done a show with Turkish that hasn't gone out yet, which they're leaving it late. I don't know when that's going out, but I did a show with Turkish the other night. And yeah, obviously, look, that's what I like with the Arsenal fan base. You've got so many opinions that are so different, so it's always interesting talking about, like, going from Turkish, who's obviously, you know, a little bit on the other side of the spectrum, to you. So it's interesting. Like, I just look at it and I think, yeah, refereeing decisions, we all complain about them. They go for you, they go against you. Arsenal have also had refereeing decisions that have gone for them this season, and it's one of them ones. I can't sit there and say, oh yeah, Liverpool have had decisions go against them. It swings and roundabouts, and you could sit there and add them all up. But yeah, the injuries are a thing. So if Arteta wins the league, then yeah, I have to give him respect for doing it with those injuries in this running. Do you know what I mean? So I just look at the long term, because again, when Arsenal didn't have those injuries, you still wasn't top of the league. You still wasn't So it's not like we sit there and go, oh, the injuries, look, they would have won the league. I still think you would have been second.
Bro, when we were top of the league, the first year we were challenging, Saliba got injured. We were told this is part of football. Get used to it. No excuses. Man City lose Rodri. They're told, oh, it's okay. You won 4 league titles. Don't worry about it this season. It's pathetic, mate.
I think this is on. I want to know who's saying this. Like, where is it coming from? Like,
Gary Neville himself. Oh, Man City won 4 league titles. Rodri gets injured, a Ballon d'Or winner. Of course, they're going to fall off. Arsenal, you know what? It's your fault. No sympathy. You guys should have bought a striker in the summer. No, don't get me wrong. He's right. We should have bought a striker in the summer. But that's not the reason.
Yeah.
People say...
I was saying, by the way...
Hamza. Oh, Hamza's the most... the worst of them worst.
That guy's hilarious.
Hamza's the worst of the worst when it comes to this. But you know what? Let's get back to the game because I'm getting off track. And I was listening to you earlier. Why didn't you criticize Foden when these guys were all sitting there saying, oh, Eagle's protecting Foden? You must agree with me that this Foden guy constantly gets no criticism for his poor performances and all the praise when his team does well. And people are quick to put down Jarrod Bowen. People are quick to put down Bukayo Saka when they have a bad game. People are quick to put down Cole Palmer when they have a bad game. But Phil Foden can't do no wrong. He's the golden child.
Yeah. See, and I was too busy laughing at Staffy, who was trying to cook you at the time. But yeah, like listen, Foden has not been levels this season. He's not been good enough. He's not been that guy this season. So. Yeah, he does deserve criticism, but the whole team, they've not been great. So, listen, I get where you're coming from with the Foden thing. Staffy saying that you're obsessed with Foden or whatever, or you're so focused on Foden. That was what Staffy's point was. And I couldn't argue for or against it. So,
I just think these guys are too much focused on me arguing about Foden, and they're not actually listening to my point. My point is valid. The guy's just not been it this season, and he's not being held to the same standard as other former Premier League players of the season. That's all I'm saying. If he was being held to the same standard as other Premier League players this season, then maybe I wouldn't have to say anything because the people would be saying it for me already. But yeah, that's my main point. My main point is just hold him accountable, and then I won't have to yell and scream. You're not holding him accountable.
Yeah, maybe. You know, so listen, I can't argue for or against it. I mean, yeah, he hasn't been good enough, but I agree he hasn't been.
I look like I'm yelling at clouds now. Let's get back to the main thing. West Ham. What is your score prediction? How do you think the game is going to go? And what do you think your lineup is going to be? Do you agree with the projected lineup that I put up earlier? Because this is what they're projecting as the lineup is going to be. 1 second. Let me just go to it. The projected lineup is... This is the projected lineup.
So, okay. Yeah, I think...
This is our lineup. This is our lineup. 100%. That is the Arsenal lineup.
Why they got Alvarez at left wing back and Emerson in mid-DM? Swap Emerson and Alvarez around, and that's right. That's probably right. Kudus, Soler on the left wing, man. No, do you know what? I think... You may see Ferguson start. Potter said he hasn't got a full 90 in him, right? Which means, to me personally, if he's not got a full 90 in him, start him and then bring him off. And Soler, I like Soler, but he's just not good there. So for me, I'm thinking it might be Bowen on the right, Kudus on the left. Even though I said he's not great on the left, what can you do? He's better than Soler there, I think. And then Ferguson up top, because then we've got that focal point. You know, Bowen up top, especially like as that lone striker. He's not the tallest guy. It's not great. It's not ideal. I would much rather put Kudus on the left and Bowen on the right. So Bowen's in his strongest position, and then have a proper striker up front in Evan Ferguson. And I think that's what he might do. The back line, Mavropanos has been a bit error prone this season, but I'm more comfortable with him in a back three.
He was always error prone, even when we had him. Like,
yeah,
that was his issue.
Yeah, like, the problem is what he thinks he's this like ball playing centre back where he can go high up the pitch, and he just leaves so much space at the back, and he hasn't got the legs to track back and get back fast enough. We've conceded so many goals where he just leaves Kilman isolated. He's up in flipping midfield doing God knows what, and then the ball over the top comes through, or the through ball comes through, and he's trying to run back, and he's nowhere near it. It's so frustrating. But in a back three, I'm more comfortable with Mavropanos. Obviously, he got the goal against Arsenal when we beat you at your ground last season, so maybe there's a bit of that. Otherwise, it could be, if you're dropping Mavropanos, you play Todibo, Kilman, and Creswell as on the left-sided part of the back three. So, but yeah, Todibo has to come in. Has to.
Mm-hmm. What do you think about the Myles Lewis-Skelly stuff? People were going way too hard on him with the whole Erling Haaland celebrating, and now he might get picked for England. He's already looking so good at 18 now.
Yeah,
it's amazing. Like, I love the kid.
Yeah. Listen, I think the media did too much. Like, me as a fan, like, I say, yeah, all right, pipe down. That guy's won everything there is to win in a game. Like, who are you? Type of thing. But that's just as like a little fan, like, whatever. But it's not. I'm not mad at it. Like, where
you're not a professional pundit, like.
That's what I'm saying. Like, as a fan, like, you say, yeah, all right, mate. Like, I'm not mad at it. I don't make a big issue out of it. I just like, yeah, all right. Who's this kid think he is, type of thing. But it's fun and games. Like, whereas the media, it just became like so much of this big issue. Like, they made it more serious than it should be. You can banter him and like go, yeah, like, listen, you could wish to win after things that he's won. Like, you can make a joke out of it, take a bit of it. That it's not serious. It's not that serious and that deep as was being made out. And I thought it just got dragged on too long because it's a talking point. And when people think, oh, like, the media try to do it because he's an Arsenal player and they want to bring Arsenal down, or they try and do it because he's black. What it is they see it as a conversation to get clicks, views, etc. And a lot of it comes from the producers. So when Jamie talked about it again on Overlap, I guarantee you Jamie Carragher's not sitting there and going, let's talk about this. I guarantee the producers are like, oh, we got this, like, because I guarantee they're going, right, these are the talking points.
Are you calling these guys fake? Because sometimes it does seem like they contradict their own opinions that they had on match day.
Yeah, look, TV, if you've ever done anything with TV and stuff like that, I've done so, producers play a big role, especially things like that. So I'm not saying you don't believe it, but sometimes that's why you get little contradictions or something, like where you're nudged in a certain way, or the talking points come up. That's what I'm saying. I don't think Jamie Carragher necessarily went in there and gone, I'm going to talk about Myles Lewis-Skelly's thing again on the Overlap. I think they've said, right, boom, this is what we want to talk about, and they've thrown it in there again so they can get flipping the fans that are on the Overlap to try and have a debate. And yeah, and it's just silly. It's just silly. But they think it's going to get clicks. They know Arsenal fans get riled up. So you bring that point out, Arsenal fans are going to jump on it. They're going to quote tweet it. They're going to comment. They're going to all of that stuff. So they know what it is. You know what I mean?
Dan, this is February 21st, 2025. I'm telling you right now, everyone is scared. We're going to dominate England soon. Genuinely. I know people think this is delusional.
I had to stop myself spitting my water out. What?
Liverpool on decline. This is their final season at this level. Mo Salah's going to be leaving. Trent's going to be leaving. Van Dijk, we don't know if he's even going to stay. Man City have to rebuild their whole team pretty much. Their defense, their midfield, their attack is the only thing that they have sorted. Arsenal are going to dominate. I'm telling you. And when people say to me, oh, Igal, why are you so confident? Because I see the vision. I see where we can be and where we can go. We have the defense. We have the midfield. We literally are missing a couple pieces in the attack to having a complete team where everyone's going to be fearful of every single level. I know you're smiling.
It's so long, man. This is the longest process in the world. Jesus.
You want to know something? We were too early 2 years ago. We should have won the league, though, still. We can still get better right now, easily.
You could get worse, and that's a possibility.
You could get worse, but the worst case scenario would be if a bunch of our players get picked off or get season-ending injuries. Right now, I only see a clear vision of Arsenal next season having the best squad in the league. Because we already have
football as a linear curve where like season to season you get better.
This season we stagnated. Last season we were still getting better. This season maybe we're stagnating. Offensively, we've definitely regressed. Defensively, we're still up there. But I do think Arsenal, if anyone is set up to dominate England in the next coming years, it's Arsenal. It's not Liverpool. It's not Man City. It's definitely not Chelsea or Man United or Spurs. There's no one outside of the top six, original top six. Maybe Newcastle is the only team that you could say from outside of the original top six that could ever get into that bracket right now. But let's be 100% honest, bro. Arsenal go sign a striker this summer. Arsenal sign a left winger this summer. And Arsenal potentially go and get one more midfielder.
Those are all ifs, and those positions have to work out. They have to be good signings.
Okay. Liverpool lose Mo Salah. Liverpool lose Mo Salah.
If they lose Mo Salah, yeah.
If they lose Mo Salah, do you give them any hope of replacing him?
I give them hope. I don't think no, right. So when I say this, I give them hope of getting a good player. I don't think they will replace him to that level. Like they're not gonna. There's gonna be a drop off, but it's about how much you can minimize that drop off by getting a quality replacement and then strengthen other areas of the pitch.
Do you think Man City challenge again next season?
Yes, 100% they're back. I'm telling you, like because they won that court case or that I don't know if it's the whole case, but that thing with that appeal or whatever for the rule change. I think they're going to go hard in the summer. Rodri will be back next season. So I know you don't want to say Rodri's excused, but he's a big loss. And I don't know why they need to take criticism for not having backup to Rodri, for still not signing backup to Rodri.
Oh, no, it's okay. They have the best squad in the league, but they can't withstand one injury.
No, but that's what I'm saying. But they need you need a DM. I get it. I'm not saying you're wrong, and they should do better. How they've done, it's not good enough to justify, oh, Rodri's injured, so we're this bad, right? However, they get dominated in the midfield so many times because they have enough quality there. So they'll get Rodri back, and then you would have to think they're going to add to that. They've still got the best finisher in world football up top, goals. If they strengthen their defense, like they're going to spend money, and they've still got Pep, the best manager in the world, right? So I think to discount them...
Is he the best manager in the world? This season, he's not been showing it. Managers get you out of problems when they have problems. He's not been able to solve any of their problems.
Listen, he has one dip. Who's better then? Who is the best manager? If you say Arteta, I swear to God, Miguel, man. Don't you dare say Arteta is the best manager in the world.
I'm not saying Arteta is the best manager in the world. I'm not. I don't know who the best manager in the world is. I'm just simply saying, Pep, if he is the best manager in the world, as he is been crowned that, he needs to be able to find solutions to his problems. Good managers find solutions to problems. He's not been able to find any solutions to his problems this season. He's actually magnified those solutions by constantly getting it wrong.
You put Arsene Wenger on a pedestal, right? Of being
Arsene Wenger is not better than Pep.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he's not better than Pep, but he's put on a high pedestal. He won the league 3 times. Obviously, the unbeaten season, great. But for the large majority of his time at Arsenal, he never got anywhere near them levels. Like you challenged a couple times.
No, I'm not making this about that. I'm just simply saying this season, City have been terrible, and as a manager, he has not made it any better. He's kind of quit sometimes.
He has to take responsibility. I agree. He has to take some responsibility this season for not being able to find a solution. But also, and this is why I criticize Pep to a degree and Arteta for squad building, because the squad building, isn't good enough. I mean, I still go back to that 100 million for Jack Grealish. It was just so unnecessary and unneeded. And I said at the time it'd be
that was an English quota signing. Let's be honest.
Yeah, but then if you want to get your English quota signing, go sign like flipping Joe Hart back, or
they already have Scott Carson. How many goalkeepers do they need?
Yeah, just get some of these cheap English players that can sit on the bench. Don't go spend 100 million on Jack flipping.
If they kept their academy players, they would have Lavia, Tosin, Cole Palmer, Rogers, Delap, they would have a squad. Some of those bench players, some of those guys would definitely be bench players, or at least featuring in that Man City team.
But it's going to be about. We can say, okay, yeah, Pep should have done better this season, but it's going to be how he bounces back next season. And I think with that summer transfer window, with players back and going again from the start, the whole court case thing done and dusted, we can see. I don't think it's crazy to say Man City will be back.
Bro,
right?
Man City didn't even make it to round of 16 of the Champions League. They
faced Real Madrid, man. Come on.
In the league phase, they finished 26th or something like that. That's unexcusable, bro.
Yeah, it's not great, but again, like you know, Arsenal fans, and that's all you said is like, listen, we need to be confident against Real Madrid.
I need something from them this weekend. I'm hopeful they can do something, but because they had a good performance at home versus Man City, at home they're still decent. It's just away from home this season, they've been getting their ass handed to them by everybody.
Yeah.
Let's get into the final prediction. I'm just gonna say this, bro. We're at home. I'm confident we can keep ourselves solid at the back defensively, and if we keep a clean sheet, we're nicking at least 2 goals. I'm giving us a 2-0 Arsenal victory. I think it's going to be a close game for majority of the game, but once the floodgates open, it opens, and we take the win from there and we run with it. But if you guys score first, it could be a long night. But really and truly, it's gonna be a nail biter until we get the opening breakthrough, and that's from where I think we go on to win it. And we create enough chances throughout the game to score. It's just how clinical can we be? And hopefully with Ethan, Mikel Merino, and Trossard, we have better finishers on the pitch than Raheem Sterling.
Yeah, see, I'm looking at it in the fact of like we have played much better with a back five. We do need a response because the Brentford performance was so bad. We did play a back 4 in there, and it was so bad. And yeah, like I said, having Bowen back up to speed, having Ferguson maybe starting an actual focal point striker, you know, I do feel like we can get something. You won't be surprised if you win. Of course, it's away at Arsenal. It's always a tough place to go. And you do get the results from the ref against us at the Emirates, and I've seen us so many times against Arsenal get robbed. But and I can see that this time. So my heart says 2-1, my head says 1-1.
Guys, FPL deadline's coming up soon. I have Arteta as my manager, you know.
Okay. Yeah, I bet you do every week, innit? Every week. Arteta.
No, I actually had Arne Salat as my manager. Check out my fantasy team, guys. I literally do have Arteta as my manager. There you go. My manager right there. Anyways, we're going to wrap it up here, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Dan, I gone for, once again, just to confirm, I've gone for the 2-0 victory. You've gone with 2-1, West Ham?
Yeah, I'm going to say 2. Let me back the boys and say 2-1.
All right, fair enough. You guys have yourselves a wonderful day. Catch you guys in the next video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Go check out Dan Lawless's channel also in the chat. I'm going to make sure I put that in there, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Don't know, everybody. Have yourselves a wonderful weekend. We'll be back on Sunday. Actually, we play Saturday, so we'll be back on Saturday. Have yourselves a wonderful day. Peace.